This week's NXT UK, folks, was one of the greatest episodes in recent memory. We got the feud of Dragunov and Sam Gradwell continuing, as well as the continuation of the Xia Brookside Nia Samuels feud. And Kaylee Ray retains her title over Meiko Satomura in what was one of the greatest matches on the card. Kaylee Ray's reign as NXT UK Women's Champion officially continues. Now the question is, who will be her challenger? Who is rumored to be her next challenger for the title? We're going to go over all that plus much more right here on my Ingram Wrestling News YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ingram Wrestling News' very own Brendan Ingram here, live with your NXT UK review. This is your March the 4th, 2021 NXT UK review. So again, this is your March the 4th, 2021 NXT UK review. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell for notifications so you won't miss all of my content over on my channel. So you won't also miss my newest content that's coming to the channel this year. And also, so you won't miss my YouTube live stream that will be live in about 2 months of me discussing my plans going forward with my YouTube channel. And also, follow me on Twitter at Ingram Wrestling. Follow me on Twitter at Ingram Wrestling News. Follow me on Twitch at Ingram Wrestling News. Follow me on Twitter at Ingram Wrestling. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I am dangerously close to 200. So please continue to show your love and support for me and my channel. I would appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and get to the review here. So, this week's show kicked off with a hype package for the NXT UK Women's Championship main event between Kaylee Ray and Meiko Satomura, featuring interviews with members of the WWE Women's roster. So, Ilja Dragunov made his entrance, followed by Sam Gradwell, trash talking him for being a Sullivan baby. So we got Ilja Dragunov versus Sam Gradwell. So as the bell rang, Gradwell continued to attempt to wind up Dragunov by hitting him with a slap across the face. Even after a first couple of minutes, Dragunov busted Gradwell open with a stiff kick. Dragunov looked close to snapping when Gradwell hit him with an elbow and said he was okay, letting his family down. Dragunov managed to calm down. He managed to calm himself down before missing a senton from the top rope when Dragunov also missed the torpedo Moscow. Now, Gradwell chopped him across the back. This caused the Moscow Madman to snap and unleash an endless succession of elbows until the referee called for the bell. And that was it. Now, after the bell, Dragunov continued to attack Gradwell and then cornered the referee. He finally cooled down and seemed to regret his actions. Now, this was a fairly decent start to the show as the wrestlers worked a solid match. It didn't have the feeling of unbeatably to it. It didn't have unavailability to it, though. That's what I'm trying to say. So, I'm not sure why Dragunov is so worried about snapping, as Gradwell seemed fine after the match. Plus, his rage attacks always give him the win. Now, the question is, does he want to lose? Gradwell has been great at taunting Dragunov over the past few weeks. If Dragunov had snapped, if he had snapped and got disqualified, surely that would have set up something more interesting moving forward. Plus, it would give Dragunov a reason to want to avoid snapping. Backstage, we saw Kaylee Ray preparing for her title defense. We then saw a Vagnet for Teo Man, which built on last week's first look at him. He referenced to his former name, Lucky Kid, in the promo and announced he would debut next week on next Thursday's NXT UK. Now, Zaya Brookside was seen backstage with Ilja. She was seen backstage with Ilja James exploiting Nina Samuels as her assistant in the tea room. So then Noah Dar welcomed us to Supernova session. He started by reading out some fan mail and then introduced his guest, Tyler Bate. Now, Bate tried to explain his new Zen outlook on life to a confused Dar. Dar teased Bate for his vegan lifestyle, throwing vegetables on him before attempting to antagonize him about his loss to a kid. Dar claimed Bate didn't have a chance in his match with Dave Mastiff next week. Bate raised his fist to Dar, who ducked out the way. Now, I like Tyler Bate, but I am not a fan of Noam and Dar. I'm not a fan of Noam Dar at all. I don't really like what he does in the ring. He's kind of sloppy in the ring. I don't really like the guy. I'm just not. He reminds me of Timothy Thatcher of some sort. That's who he reminds me of. I mean, I get that Dar taunting Bate for being Zen can be entertaining, but it just didn't seem to work. So we saw promotional packages for Ben Carter, Ilja James, and Isla Dawn. Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan made their entrance. So we got Kenny Williams, Amir Jordan, Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan versus Ashton Smith and Benjamin Carter. Which I'm guessing that happens to be Oliver Carter. It's just WWE just randomly changed his name to Benjamin Carter. Which I don't know why, but they do that. They do that with every NXT talent. The thing is, they didn't used to do that with Shayna Baszler and Aleister Black. Now they're doing it. Now it seems like they're changing other NXT talents' names for some reason. I don't know why. It seems strange. It's odd to me that they're doing that. They didn't even change Adam Cole's name. They didn't even change his name either. Adam Cole's name has always been Adam Cole. Maybe it's because he owns that name. Like AJ Styles owns his name. But anyways, we got Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan versus Ashton Smith and Benjamin Carter. So Carter and Williams started the match at a quick pace with the two trading early roll-ups. Both teams made the most of quick tags in and out. Smith's power helped his team gain the upper hand. Now, Carter and Smith kept Jordan in their corner for a few minutes and exploited quick tags and double team moves. They looked to have the match under control until Williams made the hot tag and sent both his opponents to the outside. Jordan and Williams hit stereo dives to the outside. Jordan scored a close 2 count after a senton on Smith Williams. After taking a senton on Smith, and then Williams took out Smith on the outside in the ring. Carter had Jordan in a roll-up, but Williams hooked his leg to reverse the pin and gave his team the win. And that was it. So this marked a good return from injury for Kenny Williams as he displayed brain and brawn in the closing moments to give his team the win. Now Smith had new gear and continued what has been a noticeable improvement in the ring. On a whole, it was a pretty average tag match. A hype video package for next week's mixed tag match between Piper Niven and Jack Stars and Jenny and Joseph Connors aired, which I think Jenny and Connors are rumored to actually lose to Viper and Jack Stars. Jack Stars and Viper are actually the favorites to win this match. Now that is according to my sources that I've been hearing. That's according to my sources. And it's also according to me too, myself. I actually agreed with them. So, Jordan and Williams gloated about their win and said they were on track for a tag team shot. So, looks like Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams will be Pretty Deadly's first challenge for the NXT UK Men's Tag Team Champions. So, Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan versus Pretty Deadly for the Men's NXT UK Tag Team Championships. That would be a good match. I think that's going to be a great championship match. I think that's going to steal the show. I don't know if that's going to be for the next NXT UK TakeOver pay-per-view or if it's going to be in 2 weeks or not. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Maybe news will come out on that. I don't know. But McGinnis talked us through the tale of the tape for the NXT UK Women's Championship bout. The challenger, Meiko Satomura, entered the BT Sports studio first. And then we got the Venom, the scary Kaylee Ray, making her entrance. Whilst Andy Shepherd picked up her 551-day title reign. Now I will go on the record. I will go ahead and go on the record and say that this was one of the greatest women's matches in all WWE, one of the greatest NXT UK women's championship matches in recent memory. It was one of the greatest matches of all time. It is definitely going to go down as one of the greatest matches of all time. I'm confident that it will. Just seeing both of them go back and forth in the ring at one another, it was just great. That's what you call women's wrestling right there. That match is what you call a real match. Now that's real wrestling. That's real life women's wrestling right there. That's what I call real life wrestling. I'm actually going to click the button just because I want to see it on screen on the game. I want to see it on screen. I'm doing this just because I want to. Just because this was one of my favorite matches on this show. Just because it was my only favorite match on the show, actually. I take back what I said when I said it was one of my favorite matches. So Kaylee Ray versus Meiko Satomura for NXT UK Women's Championship. So Satomura came out of the traps the best, working the wrist and taking the champion down with a kick to the thigh. Kaylee Ray attempted to get into the match but was sent to the outside, but Satomura, as we saw, members of the NXT UK Women's roster watching the video screens, Satomura locked in an STF, forcing Kaylee Ray to crawl across the ring for the rope break. Now Satomura worked the leg to keep Kaylee Ray grounded. Kaylee Ray hit a DDT from the ring apron to the outside. She attempted a glory bomb, but Satomura reversed this into the Death Valley bomb and onto the outside ring apron. The referee started the count, and Kaylee Ray just got back into the ring at the count of 9. Which that doesn't surprise me. You can't deny the heart of Kaylee Ray. She never gives up. Kaylee Ray hit a spinning DDT, but when Satomura kicked out a 2-leg to the rope, Kaylee Ray broke the submission and Satomura hit her with the Death Valley driver for a closed 2 count. Now, Satomura failed to capitalize when Kaylee Ray got the knees up as she attempted a frog splash. Kaylee Ray hit a super kick followed by a glory bomb, but this only scored a 2 count. Kaylee Ray blocked the Scorpion Rising, but Satomura reversed her attempt glory bomb into a sunset flip. The champion knocked out at 2. Kaylee Ray finally hit a glory bomb for the win. So now Kaylee Ray's reign as the NXT UK Women's Championship officially continues. So this was a solid main event that certainly lived up to the hype. They teased both a countout and a DQ victory for Kaylee Ray, which made you think there might be a clever finish coming. Throughout the match, they defiantly made you feel both women could get the victory. Both champion and challenger hit a number of big moves and scored falls that felt like they could have won the bout. Very entertaining. Now, overall, this is a massive win for Kaylee Ray, as Satomura has been presented as the best women's wrestler in the world. I'm not sure where either fighter goes from here, but Satomura seems too much of a prize fighter to not be competing for the championship. Maybe she will have to build herself back up from the ground up and earn another title shot. That would certainly be a good way to get her in the ring with a lot of the women on the roster. Question is, who will challenge Kaylee Ray next? Who is rumored to be Kaylee Ray's next challenge? I have three choices. I have three choices, folks. I think the person that's rumored to be Kaylee Ray's opponent is either number 1, Aoife Valkyrie, number 2, Xia Brookside, or number 3, it could be Dani Luna. You know, they're building up both Aoife Valkyrie and Dani Luna. You know, they've both been undefeated in the NXT UK Women's Division as of late. Kaylee Ray's been undefeated herself, too. Can't count her out, but it seems like they're building Aoife Valkyrie and Donna Looney more than they're building up Kaylee Ray. Well, they're definitely going to start building her up for her next challenger. So, it's either going to be Aoife Valkyrie, Xia Brookside, or Dani Luna. Some of you know who Dani Luna is. She's one of the NXT UK female talents. And don't be surprised if we see Mackenzie's debut in the NXT UK Women's Division. Don't be surprised if we see her debut coming soon. Because you know Mackenzie is another name that's been brought up on the internet. She's another name that's been brought up in the wrestling community that's supposed to be debuting on NXT UK sometime probably this month or next month. That NXT UK women's roster is stacked. It's about to be stacked. It's going to be more stacked. Well, NXT's women's roster is more stacked than the NXT UK women's roster. NXT UK needs to continue looking for more NXT female signees. They need to continue looking for more pro wrestling female signees. They need to continue to sign more NXT female talents, because that way NXT UK will have a whole lot of NXT UK women's superstars. And hopefully some will be NXT UK women's champions in years to come. Now, after Kaylee Ray's victory, of course, NXT UK went off air. Now, my full thoughts on this show and on everything that went down. Honestly, this was a really good episode, jam-packed with content, as this went to 68 minutes. Now, first of all, Dragunov versus Gradwell was a pretty good opener and a great next chapter of Dragunov's story. Gradwell had to have purposefully chopped Dragunov on the back, knowing that it was triggered. Now, it is an interesting twist that Gradwell was more than okay to lose and get elbowed to hell if it meant he was right about Dragunov losing control again. Now, Dragunov's remorse was masterfully portrayed as well, and is adding real depth to this. Now, I'm surprised we're getting Teo Man so soon, because even his name this soon. Again, I'm surprised we're getting Teo Man so soon, or even his name this soon. But maybe he'll be making a huge impact and head for something in time for a takeover. Now, the question is, when is the next takeover? NXT UK takeover? I have no idea. I'm guessing it's in March or April. One of the months, one of the two. I don't know. I'm guessing. So, that's my guess. That's my best guess, folks. Now, Nina Samuel's segment with Xia, I can't be sure. But was she trying to basically poison Zaya's tea? That's the question. Because Aaliyah James leaves and Zaya takes the perfectly fine tea. Nina's plan was foiled. They needed to make that more clear. But I do think that Nina trying to get revenge on Zaya while being her assistant is a good way of handling this story. I really do think it is. Now, Isla Dawn doing a CNC is spooky. It makes me think she's going to go heel to freshen things up for her. Now, we got a decent promo from Ben Carter. A nice little video for Aaliyah and a good video for Piper and Stars versus Joseph and Jenny. But I swear something was left out from last week. So, none of us, I'm sure, in the community had no idea that Piper, Joseph, Jenny, and Stars were doing anything. Now, this is still a first ever men-female mixed tag team match to look forward to. It still is. That's a match to look at. Supernova Sessions was good, mostly because Bate was counter-trolling Dar by not getting upset. By not getting upset from Dar, trolling him. Dar's attempts were still funny, with the one stalk of broccoli and a bushel of garnish. Bate versus Mastiff under British rounds rules is going to be great, and I agree that that is how Heritage Cup contender matches should go. Now, I'm sure under British rounds, folks, that Bate will win, but now I'm just waiting for Bate versus Dar now because of that interaction on SNS. Would be the favorite to win his match against Noam Dar if it happens. Now, Jordan and Williams versus Carter and Smith was a really good tag match, and I like that Williams is continuing a subtle tease of his heel turn. He's still working with Jordan, but I bet he gets caught cheating, and Jordan doesn't like that, and they lose, and then they feud. The NXT Women's Championship was a great match. It was one of the greatest matches of all time, one of the greatest Women's Championship matches in recent memory. The greatest Women's Championship matches in WWE. In all of WWE. In all of professional wrestling. But as far as commentary goes, commentary was pushing it a little too hard. They were, seriously. I didn't like that they, again, made a point of female superstars watching the Thunderdome screens. Yes, Kaylee Ray's reign is historic, and that alone makes this important. But it just seems odd to do the screen spot again throughout the match. Why not all at once as the match first gets going? Now, the match itself had a great building of momentum. It started to feel like it could have gone either way, but it does make sense for Meiko to put Kaylee Ray over. I'm sure Meiko would have put whoever was champion over because all of the NXT Women's Champions have been great. But this was also the right call and the right decision for WWE to have Kaylee Ray retain over Meiko Satomura. For the simple fact that this gives Kaylee Ray a chance to focus to get built up for her next challenger for the NXT UK Women's Championship. Now, Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, and Kaylee Ray, they're all great talent that will lead this generation forward. But I am really wondering now who could possibly take that title off of Kaylee Ray. Well, it could be Aoife Valkyrie. I think that's who it is because they have been building her up the last few weeks on NXT UK. I think it's going to be Aoife Valkyrie. Either Aoife Valkyrie, Xia Brookside, or Danny Luna. I think it's Aoife. I think that's who's going to take it off. That's got to be the only woman who is rumored to challenge Kaylee Ray for that title. I think she's the next challenger, folks, without a doubt. With so many other women built up as upper mid cards, Aoife, who I think is rumored to be Kaylee Ray's next challenger, felt like she had the momentum before COVID's pandemic lockdown. So hopefully they can build that again. Piper and Jenny could circle back after their feud, but it just feels like Kaylee Ray beating Meiko means it is going to take a lot more than what we've seen for either of them to win. That's what I think. So, but again, this was the greatest match of all time. I really, really, really enjoyed this match. Folks, you should go to the WWE Network and watch Kaylee Ray versus Meiko Satomura. This was a fantastic, hard-hitting classic, man. This reminds you of old school women's pro wrestling. That's what that reminds you of, that match right there. Hell, it was so great that it got views. It got a whole bunch of views. This match got a ton of fucking views, man. It did. It was that great, man. It was that great. And I still think that NXT should have moved to Thursdays. Because NXT UK comes on Thursday afternoons. It makes sense for NXT to be on Thursday nights. You got both NXT shows on the same day. It makes sense. It makes sense to me. I don't know how anybody's not agreeing with this shit. I don't know how. I don't understand it. How is anybody not agreeing with this? I don't get it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think NXT moving to Tuesdays was one of the dumbest decisions that WWE ever made. I don't care what negativity, what criticism I get from the IWC wrestling fans. I think it still should have moved to Thursday nights. That is my opinion. That's my opinion on that. So, but back to what I was saying about Meiko Satomura versus Kaylee Ray. It was one of the greatest matches of all time. It's definitely going to go down as the number one greatest women's match in NXT UK history, I think. It was that great, man. This is the type of match that you would want to eat your popcorn and watch and not change the channel. That's how good that match was, man. That's how freaking good that match was. I don't blame Sasha Banks Bayley or Rhea Ripley weighing in on the match between Kaylee Ray and Meiko Satomura today. I don't blame them. I saw the video. I retweeted it. I don't blame them, man. This was the best women's championship match in the world. Not only would it go down as one of the greatest women's matches of all time, it would go down as one of the greatest women's matches of all of WWE. It was, what a great match, man. I've said this so many times now that I feel like saying it again because it was that good. It was that good. Kaylee Ray is not someone to mess around with. She has almost dominated the entire women's division. She has defeated almost every single woman on that roster. And Aoife Valkyrie will no doubtly be the next person in line to challenge Kaylee Ray for the NXT UK Women's Championship. That's my opinion. That's my thoughts on that. And everything that I said, everything that I said, that's my thoughts. That's my full thoughts on the show, folks. So, that is going to end your NXT UK review. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button. To the people who actually care, to the people who watches the review, to the people who think that I did good on this review. If you think I really did good, please leave a comment on this review, leave a like on this review. The like really helps me, helps the channel, helps the live stream, and it helps the videos as well. So, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. This is the end of your March 4th, 2021 NXT UK review. And please go on ahead and encourage your friends. Encourage your friends to check out my NXT UK review as soon as the stream ends. And coming up next on the channel, folks, I'm going to be streaming some Dragon Ball FighterZ. So, that's going to be coming up next right here on the Ingram Wrestling News YouTube channel. I got a few announcements to make before I go on ahead and end the stream. Number one, I am going to be streaming Dragon Ball FighterZ again. That's going to be tomorrow afternoon. And then, tomorrow afternoon after that, tomorrow night, after I stream on Dragon Ball FighterZ tomorrow afternoon, which I'm going to be doing the full story mode. That's going to be live on YouTube. After that, my WWE SmackDown live stream watch along will be live. That is going to be my very first watch along. It's the same except for I'm going to have a different title now. It's going to be called WWE SmackDown live stream watch along. And then after that, my SmackDown review will be live that night. So, and then this Saturday, I will be live on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, I believe. Is it Dragon Ball Xenoverse? No. This Saturday, I will be dropping an Ingram Wrestling News video. And then I'll be streaming Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And after that, possibly stream either Dragon Ball FighterZ, WWE 2K20, or I'll be live with my Stars Encore Western Movies YouTube live stream watch along. I'll be watching Western movies. I'll be doing one of the two. One of them. And then this Sunday, listen up here, folks. This Sunday, I will be streaming Dragon Ball FighterZ. Or actually, not Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 on Twitch. And then I'll be streaming Naruto Shippuden over Ninja Storm 4 on YouTube. That'll be live on YouTube this Sunday night. And then Monday, it's right back to Monday Night Raw review. It's right back to Monday. So my Monday Night Raw review will be live next Monday. And then my NXT review, of course, will be live next Wednesday. SmackDown review, my SmackDown watch along will be live next Friday as well. And of course, my NXT UK review will be live. The usual schedule as always. Now, some of you may be surprised some of you may be surprised to hear that I'm going to be dropping an Ingram Wrestling News video. I have not done any Ingram Wrestling News videos in probably 5-6 months. Because there ain't really been no news to do any Ingram Wrestling News videos on, There ain't really been no interesting news, Some of the news has been real. Some of the news has been false information. Some of them's fake. But anyways, folks, that's my full schedule for this weekend. I'm getting out of here. Peace. And I will see you on Dragon Ball FighterZ stream in the live chat. Peace.